The scrutiny of financial planning and some of the other financial services industry sectors has come to an end, and the Banking Royal Commission has now turned its attention to the superannuation industry. One of the areas that I was interested, and a lot of other people obviously would have been interested in, would have been the scrutiny around industry funds and their advertising campaigns. Readers of this title will no doubt have monitored very closely the effect of the Compare the Pair campaign, which was basically a campaign aimed to tell consumers out there how much better industry funds were from a cost and return perspective versus retail funds. Now, that's not the only marketing activity, obviously, that has happened in the industry fund sector. I think probably the best known and most active fund out there has been Host Plus. Throughout the years, they have been involved in the sponsorship of a variety of sporting teams. The Gold Coast Suns, Hawthorn and Essendon in the AFL, just to name a few, as well as the Melbourne Storm in the NRL. Now, what was alarming was to see the extent of their marketing spend over the last, say, 4 years. It was revealed that spending on marketing alone by Host Plus was $21.5 million in 2017. Now, that was an increase from their spend in 2013 of $13.1 million. Now, that's a lot of money in anyone's language. It also translates to a 164% increase in their marketing spend. Now, that is pretty excessive in my book, and I'm sure a lot of other people would feel the same way. And what was the main justification for it? Everyone's doing it. And if we don't do it, we're at a disadvantage with our message and our brand among consumers. But really, is that a good enough reason to have spent that much money on marketing? Would we accept that as an excuse from financial planning dealer groups to say that we perpetrated in fee for no service because everyone else is doing it? I think they need to be held to a level of higher accountability for that and really scrutinise the justification as to why that spend is so big. Now, obviously, there's degrees of promotion as well, but $21.5 million has to be considered excessive. Perhaps if they spent a little less, people would be a little bit more understanding. No one is saying, by the way, that these industry super funds can't market themselves. Of course they have to in a competitive market. It's just the degree of which the spend is probably what's a little bit alarming here. And maybe a little bit more scrutiny is required around the message that they spend too when you're looking at $21.5 million of marketing spend. I mean, one of the key messages has always been, we only spend our money for the good of our members. Well, I'd like to see them justify how $21.5 million is all for the good of their members. Now, I understand that their argument is that that is attracting more membership, which gives them more scale, which will potentially reduce their costs. But to me, and I'm sure a lot of other people, that's a pretty long bow to draw. Now, they're in a slightly unfortunate situation because superannuation is their core activity. That's all they do, is look after people's retirement savings. Now, they can criticise the retail sector for saying that they've got marketing spends that they have to compete with as well. But in those financial institutions, the marketing spend is coming from a larger pool and their activity is broader. It's not just about superannuation, although I understand that some of the marketing budget would probably come from there. But it's about their activity in general. Industry funds can't really claim that. It's only got to come from one pool of money, and that's the members' money. So I think some better accountability needs to happen here. I probably think a little bit more of the situation was needed to be addressed as to the degree of this. As I said at the start, I think they got off pretty scot-free as far as this magnitude of spending goes, and some more transparency and more accountability is needed in this area.